interest rates, Tego. We haven't seen them. We haven't seen them jump. We've seen them rocket up.
Uh, I,
We've
yeah.
never seen anything like it. We were waiting for this 5-6 years ago. I think
Oh, I
you and I
know.
were having a conversation. We're like, yeah, I think the rates are going to come up next month. That was it. We finally got to a point where we just stopped talking about interest rates altogether.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. The stat is something like the fastest rate of increase in mortgage rates ever. Over the last few months. So we went from 3%, let's say, at the end of last year, to now 5.5, 6%. People with maybe not the greatest credit scores, 6% plus now. And, we're starting to see rate buy downs again, where, it used to not make sense to do a rate buy down. So that's where pay a little extra money up front to get your rate a little bit lower. Now people are doing that. The thing that's interesting, Eddie, is I don't know, you follow the 10-year, right? Kind of the bond market a little bit.
Yeah.
The 10-year just rocketed up. And if you look at the 10-year bond versus mortgage rates, they always correlate, right? They kind of follow each other. And the 10-year just went through the roof. But now it's pulled back now in the last few weeks, which have brought interest rates back down. Again, some people in the housing economy world, or the housing economists, they would like to see these rates stay elevated for quite a while to help slow down this market. And here, I want to point something out. I think it's interesting, this kind of big picture housing, what's going on. People that are refinancing their home, they look at interest rates and they say, yes, I'm going to time this and I'm going to get the very best interest rate so that I can reduce my costs. A ton of people did that over the last few years. I mean, huge number of people refinance their property or properties over the last couple of years because we were in this 3%-ish mortgage rate world. And the thing is, when people are purchasing a home, they don't make a decision to purchase a home on what the interest rate is today. They make a decision for the most part on what they need in their lifestyle at that time. And they more look about, well, can I afford it, or what can I afford based on the current interest rates in my situation, than, well, I'm not going to buy because interest rates are too high. If you can afford it and you need a house, you're still going to buy. The people that it's doing is it's pushing out the people that were, kind of at the margin, maybe lower, and so now we've had this home price appreciation where, a home under $250,000 in the Albuquerque area is a rarity now. And we've got these interest rates that have gone up so much. And so now that's just pushed a whole bunch of people out of the market from an affordability standpoint. It's not like they don't want to buy, they just can't. But there's still a bunch of people that can buy and are going to buy. And they're not going to just say, well, I'm not going to buy because interest rates are too high. That was a long thing, but did that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think the decision matrix for buyers is moving, and that the problem that has created is the very thing that you went from the very beginning, which is it's unaffordable.
Yes.
So you have a housing problem, and you've been talking about that. This has been the one note that's been uniting this. You're writing a symphony, if you will, that's
Yeah.
connected by the one thing is what's the purpose of a home? Maslow's theory, 8 basic needs.
Yeah.
Right in there is shelter.
Shelter,
And
security. And
right.
I always throw in, and I know Tracy definitely always throws in, a home is about making memories with your family, right? And that's, we talk to people all the time, Eddie, that are like, I'm just tired of being a tenant. If I want to plant some flowers in my yard, I want to do that, right? If I want to paint my room orange, I'm going to do that, right? As opposed to being a tenant or living with your parents, for example, right? Getting out of the house, right? So, people make decisions to move for a lot of different reasons. Um, and those reasons haven't gone away.
Yeah, I think what we are realizing though is the music is stopping. Going back to the movie of Margin Call, and we're seeing a change. And so you just went through an entire decision matrix for the buyer, and then you, as a someone who owns several pieces are in the best position that you've ever been
Right.
in, and you can allow these people to sort of bid up. But it's still the same thing as we're still satisfying a basic need. Their trade-off is a lot more than yours was when you originally acquired that property. So here's the lesson. Is it better to rent or own? Well, everyone's trying to own. The reason why is for the very reasons of the basic needs. And we're about to hit this crisis time, economic crisis time. And who's going to be able to get through this without getting sick, developing cancer? I don't know, having to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jobs, or having to live hand to mouth. Like a home is security. A home is memories. A home is life. And this is why you need to be into a home. And if you want to go ahead and have this sort of more detailed conversation, the best people I could possibly give to you to do so are Tego and Tracy Venturi, the Venturi team from Keller Williams Realty. You pick up the phone, you dial them directly, 505-448-8888. That's 505-448-8888. Tego helped me out with something yesterday. Just because understanding things like mortgage, title, all the various components of the transaction, and then having, it's not just enough to put in an offer, but if you put in your offer with their name, or if you list your property with their name, A, it's priced right, and B, it's a strong offer if they're going to do it and they're advising you the right way. There's such a thing as trust, and the last thing that we have right now in society, I think even here in Albuquerque overall, I just went through something which was god awful, is trust. And you have to have that trust. That's exactly what the Venturi Realty Group means, and it's something that I want to communicate to all of our listeners.